Do you find yourself facing this ginormous mountain of stuff to do or a to-do list that goes on for pages and you're having a hard time getting yourself moving? You were in the right place today because I've been there, done that, and today I'm going to teach you one of the tricks I've learned that is the most effective in getting me going when my brain goes into freeze mode and my to-do list is not getting done. Do you want to achieve your goals, but anxiety is tripping you up? Like to keep those fun weekend plans, but depression has you counseling again? Hey, I'm Lori, dog mom, lover of nature, and hygge enthusiast. Positive psychology skills help me overcome chronic severe PTSD. If you're ready to learn how to overcome your anxiety and depression and rediscover happiness and purpose in life, then get your cozy on and let's get started. Welcome back to Practical Solutions for PTSD. Today, this episode is supposed to drop on April the 21st, and so that makes today, say it with me, Workshop Day! Woohoo! We are going to have so much fun today, and I hope you're able to join us. If it's gotten to today and you're like, oh my word, I forgot to sign up, or you've been putting it off or forgetting it for whatever reason, you can still sign up today. Just go to ceoworkshop.grwebsite.com. If you make it before 10 o'clock Central Time, absolutely come join us. If you sign up after that, I will send you the links. You can listen to it later. You'll definitely want to get the information. It's going to be helpful. There's practical, real-life tools that can help you today to be able to deal with that chronic stress, anxiety, and depression. So make sure you're signing up or sharing it with a friend who is also dealing with this and you think it would be a good fit for them. So absolutely go to ceoworkshop.grwebsite.com to do that. There will be some specials I'll be announcing at the workshop that will be running throughout this week. It's for this week only. So you'll want to make sure you find out about those. If you're not at the workshop, you didn't sign up, you still want to find out about it, you can send me an email at lori@practicalsolutionsforptsd.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook. We'll get you connected there as well. So you want to make sure to keep your ears and eyes tuned for specials that are coming out for this week because it's for this week only. Again, that's ceoworkshop.grwebsite.com, and I hope to see you there. There's this particular kind of exhaustion that comes from not doing too much, but thinking about everything that you have to do. It can get so overwhelming and emotionally exhausting when you just sit down and think about all the stuff that's on your to-do list or all the stuff that should be on the list that hasn't quite made it there yet. Like you just look around your house or your yard, your job, whatever it is, and there's all this stuff that is just so overwhelming. And if you've been dealing with depression or anxiety, PTSD, any kind of these chronic stress, it makes it harder to act anyway because you're like slugging through this tough spot. It's just really hard to move forward sometimes you're dealing with that, which means that your task list is growing because you're not getting stuff done like you normally would. And so you can just look at this huge pile and there's this stuff going through your head going like, I don't even know where to begin. There's just too much stuff. And what's the point? I won't finish it anyway. And underneath all that, there's this anxiety that you're not getting stuff done, that there's all this stuff to do. There's this chronic stress that you're dealing with. Sometimes all the stuff that you have to do can create depression. It can add to what you're already dealing with. It can just make it so hard to get through this. And some of this can result in isolation and loneliness. You can have this guilt that you're dealing with for not getting your stuff done. So you're not just tired. Your nervous system is in overload and overwhelm big time. So when everything feels urgent, like you're looking at this huge mountain of stuff you have to do and all of it is just screaming your name, your brain just stops prioritizing. And when your brain can't prioritize, it freezes and you start shutting down and you'll find yourself hiding behind that pile of stuff to do and scrolling through your phone or completely zoning out or just avoiding it altogether, somehow or the other avoiding it. And it's not because you're lazy, it's because your system is trying to protect you from the overwhelm and overload that you're dealing with. Now, there's some traditional advice that I've heard, and there are times and places it works. I'm not going to say there isn't, but sometimes you hear this advice to, well, make a list. Just push through that feeling and you'll get it done. Just do it. And sometimes this does work. I mean, I remember listening to an Adventures in Odyssey years ago where Wit was telling one of the people in this radio program that he gave him this quote magic juice to help him get his homework done, and all it was lemonade. But it was a fact of just sitting in a chair and staying put until you get the job done. And there is a time and a place for that. I'm not discounting that whatsoever. But when your system is in overload and you're overwhelmed anyway, this advice just feels like yet another brick you have to carry in the backpack that's already overflowing with bricks. It can make the problem worse. Because the problem isn't that you don't know what to do. It isn't that you don't have a system in place or you're not fully conscious of all the stuff on your to-do list. It's that your system is flooded. It's just overwhelmed right now with too much information, too much whatever, and your nervous system is deregulated and your brain shifts into survival mode. And survival mode does not do well with long lists or big decisions or multi-step complex plans. What it really needs is simplicity. It needs clarity. It needs one thing. Just one thing. Just one thing. And so this is what I want to talk to you about. This is something I have used extensively for several years. And I've said this many times, but I am most definitely a big picture person. And so when I'm confronted with this huge mountain of stuff I have to do, that big picture tendency can actually make it worse. And I feel like all I can see is this huge mountain and I don't know how to navigate it. And so when I'm dealing with a lot of stress or pressure, depression, anxiety, any of these, it makes this even worse. And I can just completely shut down. And there have been times I've sat in my chair and done absolutely nothing, surrounded by things like laundry, toys from the dogs all over the floor, dirty dishes on the counter, whatever it was. And I could not move because I was so overwhelmed with what was happening. So there's a couple things I've done to kind of trick myself into moving, which helps. And I'm going to talk to you about one of those today. And that is the one task rule. So instead of asking, what do I need to get done today? Maybe not even asking what I need to get done this afternoon. Just what can I do right now? In the next 5 to 10 minutes, what is the next thing I can do? Now, if you research this and look at task management plan, they're going to ask you to, what's the next right thing to do? And I've also heard this, again, could potentially be good advice. It hasn't worked for me when I'm in this situation. But I've also heard, get the hardest task that you have to do, knock that out, and the rest of it will be easy. Well, when you're in this place where you're frozen because you're just so overwhelmed with everything, what I have found is doing the hardest thing makes it worse. Like if you're going to tell me when I can't hardly move because I'm just shut down to do the hardest thing on my list, that will make me shut down even more because it's just too much. And to try to figure out what is the next, quote, right thing to do can also be paralyzing when you're overwhelmed. So what I have found works is just do the next thing. Just find something to do that gets you moving. So I have literally sometimes just looked straight down or straight in front of me within within arm's reach. What is one thing I can touch that I need to do? And it could be some dog toys that I've been tripping over. It might be some dirty dishes from the meal I just had. It could be, whatever. I have no more clothes in the closet. Like I have no clothes in the drawer to wear tomorrow, so I might need to fold some laundry. Just the next thing that is within arm's reach, something I can do to get me moving. And what I have found is this gets you off of high center, and it breaks the freeze because you're moving. And once you're moving, then you're better able to take the next step after that. So doing just one task, one action, one small movement. It doesn't even necessarily have to be, quote, the next right thing. It's just something. Just move. And if I can just get myself moving a little bit, then I'm more likely to do the next thing after that. So a visual of this might be like if you look at this creek and you have to cross this creek or a small river and there's stepping stones across it. You don't have to keep your eye on the one at the end. So, like, I've got to get to that one. That's the one I have to get across the river. You have to get to all the little ones in the middle. So, just look at the next step down. You don't have to look at all of them. Just look at the next one. You could forget about all the other ones. Just look at the next one. That's all you have to do. It's just one task, one action, one small movement forward. So you don't need to see the entire path. You don't need to see the entire mountain of stuff you have to do. All you have to do is look at the next one task. That's it. And if you can get that one down, then you can look at the next one after that. And you will surprise yourself. I've done this many, many times. When I did just one thing, and I would tell myself, all you have to do is this one thing. And if you can't do anything else, that's okay. You did one thing, and that's good. I would find myself doing the next thing and the next thing, and I'd be going for a little while. And depending on how I felt physically, because sometimes that was an issue as well, I might go for 5, 10, 15 minutes before I had to stop again. Getting yourself rolling, it's like something that's in action, in motion, can stay in motion much easier than getting something actually moving. So here's some ways this could look like in real life. Let's make it tangible. I love to do that, to give you some practical, tangible things to do. So instead of looking at your entire house that may have gotten a little out of control because you're just overwhelmed right now or you have too much on your plate, instead of looking at your entire house going, I need to clean this house, think of one task that you can do and make it super, super easy, like almost stupid easy. So much so that it's like, well, that's a no-brainer. Because you kind of need those no-brainers to get you motivated and get you going. So it could just be like, I'm going to take this dish that's sitting right in front of me from where I had my lunch, and I'm going to go take it into the kitchen and put it in the sink. Or if the dishwasher is available, I will put it in the dishwasher. And that's all I have to do. I just have to put this dish in the kitchen, wherever I'm going to put it, and off of this table. So instead of maybe you're trying to figure out what you're doing with your life and you don't know where you're going, you don't know what that next step is, and you're just so overwhelmed trying to come up with a 5-year plan or even a 6-month plan, it's just too overwhelming. So maybe all you do is open the notebook. Maybe that's all you can get done is opening the notebook and maybe write across my 6-month plan. And that's all you get done that day. But the next day, if you can write down one thing, don't worry about putting it in order. Just put something on there that you know you need to accomplish. And maybe it's just one thing the next day and the next day from there. So that's kind of those one-step things. Maybe you're overwhelmed with a relationship that you feel like you need to address and that needs healing and needs work. And it just seems so overwhelming. Now, when you're looking at relationships as opposed to the other stuff I've listed, this is going to have some unique challenges because you cannot control the other person. You can only control yourself. So that's the first thing, is to take out of the picture anything that you cannot control. Focus on your controllables. And I've been stressing this lately. Focus on your controllables. And then just do one small thing. Maybe you can send a text to that person to let them know you still love them. Maybe you can send them a card and let them know you're thinking about them, or, just whatever. Just want to say hi. Something small that you can get your hands around. That's not this huge, big, ginormous thing, just a small thing. This is where momentum begins. So you do these small things. They're done willingly. It's not like somebody's holding a gun to your head, but it begins to build momentum. And so then you can do the next thing and then the next, and pretty soon you're further down the road than you would have imagined. And it also helps you on the psychological side. So once you've completed a task, you're like, whoo, I actually got the dishes to the sink. Whoop-de-doo-dah. Your brain's like, hey, I did that. And you get a little tiny surge of dopamine, and it signals your brain that, hey, I got something done. And it reduces your anxiety just a hair. It's not going to take it all away at once, but it's going to reduce it just a little bit. And it also lowers your mental walls a little bit, those resistance. and helps you to have just enough energy for the next step. So when you're doing this, also keep in mind that moderation in all things. And it's not my strong suit either, but moderation in all things. And so you don't want to push yourself too far, but getting your motivation, getting started can help you get moving on this. One reason why the one task rule works is because it respects your limits. You can't carry all of it at once. And with the one task rule, you're not expected to. You're only expected to do that one thing. So that one task rule brings you back to the present moment because you're not thinking about what you need to do in a month, a week, even this afternoon or the next hour. You're just thinking about the next 5 to 10 minutes, and that's it. And that can really help reduce your anxiety by grounding you in that moment. And if you think about it, for those of you that follow Christ, it mirrors biblical direction for how we're supposed to face our day-to-day life. When Jesus talks to his disciples and he tells them, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all these things will be added unto you. And previously to that, he's talking about the sparrow who is fed on a day-to-day basis, the flowers of the field that receive rain and sunshine and grow day to day. The Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread. It doesn't talk about giving us bread in a month or 2 months or even tomorrow. It's give us this day. God provides grace for today, not tomorrow. He gives you grace for today. And if you pull that back, your to-do list, pull it back to today. What can I do today? Even if it's not necessarily, quote, the next right thing or the next best thing, but it is a thing that's getting you moving, it helps decrease the anxiety and helps you get going on that big mountain of stuff that you have to do. And you get to chip away at it a little bit at a time. So here's how you can practice this today. If you're feeling overwhelmed by your to-do list or this big mountain of stuff you have to do or a relationship that you're dealing with, whatever it is that's overwhelming you right now, I want you to just stop for a moment, take a deep breath, let it out, and then ask yourself, what is one thing I can do in the next 5 to 10 minutes? Not the most important thing, not the hardest thing, just the next thing. And then do it. Just quietly do it. No pressure to keep going. If you can't do anything else from that, it's okay. No expectations to be highly productive all day long. Just do one task, that one thing. If you have capacity after that, you can choose another one thing. If not, hey, you accomplished one thing and that keeps you moving forward, and that's a good thing. And that's all that matters for today. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, burned out, or like you're barely holding things together right now, start smaller than you think you should. So you're like, well, I can do this 30-minute task. Nope, start smaller than that. Start tiny, 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 stupid small, really small. Because it's not that you're incapable of doing the 30-minute task, but you're rebuilding that capacity one step at a time, one task at a time. That process begins with just doing one thing, just one thing. Keep it simple and you'll find motivation building for you. And for the very last reminder for the Calm Emotional Overwhelm Workshop, if you want to sign up, just go to ceoworkshop.grwebsite.com. That's ceoworkshop.grwebsite.com. Hey, my friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you please take 30 seconds and share it with someone you know who may be struggling with depression and anxiety? Also, would you please leave a quick review for the show? Knowing how this podcast is helping you fills my heart with so much joy, and it motivates me for future episodes. For now, it's time for Sam and I to head outside to enjoy some sunshine and fresh air. We'll see you back here on Tuesdays and Thursdays for more great episodes.